don't know what magic batteries Nintendo put in this thing, but I haven't charged it since the day this came out. So, all I gotta say to that is, let me smash. Another Nintendo system means another Super Smash Bros. Game. But they really shouldn't have called this one Ultimate. They should have called it Smash 5 because Ultimate, you're kind of backed into a corner. I mean, what are they going to call the next one? Super Smash Bros. X?
I love Super Smash Bros. So many weekends playing Melee at a friend's house and then playing Brawl at mine, going online with Smash for the 3DS and Wii U, and now we get a full console experience that's also portable with the Switch. Yeah, you had Smash for the 3DS, but in my opinion, you didn't get that full console feel, unless you had the new 3DS when it came to controls. And you couldn't have 8 people at once, which is why Ice Climbers were left out, because that would be 16 characters moving about at once, and the 3DS just couldn't handle that. Being the 5th game in the series, I don't think it needs any introduction. Some of the models look reused because there's lower polygon counts in certain areas like hands, and if those models have been reused, they do have updated textures and some tweaks. Like Zero Suit Samus having smaller breasts and her leg muscles have more definition, or Solid Snake having a concave ass, Sonic looks taller, Lucario's fur is darker. The changes are small but noticeable. The new music tracks, especially all the renditions of the new theme song, are probably the best the series has had in years. Not that the original tracks in the previous games were bad, but the ones here just blow them out of the water. All the characters control the same way, so there's no button combos to learn or master. They all have their own strength, speed, and techniques, and it's how you utilize the characters to your advantage. The series is the perfect pick-up-and-play type of game. A minute to learn, a lifetime to master. There's a lot of tweaks to the game from Smash 4. The fighters feel more balanced in terms of speed, weight, and how much damage they can take and dish out. The characters feel more natural. Sonic is still the fastest character, but he hits harder and isn't launched as easily. Lucario attacks faster, and he's not as floaty as he was. Palutena probably has the best improvement. She's faster, not knocked out as easily as in Smash 4, where you could knock her out when she was at 25% damage. Zero Suit Samus' up special is no longer the near instant KO that it was when that final kick hit. And Ganondorf is faster than he was. Overall, the roster just feels so much better balanced when it comes to playing the characters. Each fighter feels like they could beat each other. The game also feels faster, not melee fast, but much faster than Smash 4. There's still Echo Fighters, characters that share the same moves but with slight variations. Lucina doesn't hit as hard as Marth, but her sword does the same amount of damage no matter where it connects, unlike Marth where it does the most damage at the tip. I think her movements are slightly faster also. I'm not 100% sure on that. It just feels like she's faster. Dark Samus has floatier physics than regular Samus, but the Echo Fighters are just different enough to tell that they feel different, except for Daisy and Peach, who have absolutely no difference other than looks and personality. Like, Daisy could have just been an alternate skin for Peach, similar to how Bowser Jr. has all the Koopalings. But I could be wrong. Final Smashes are redone to be faster. I'm just glad that Lucario's is the Aura Beam again. When it comes to Super Sonic, he just zooms back and forth across the screen automatically, and you can only move him up and down. Not many Final Smashes take up the entire screen, like the Star Fox characters using the Landmaster. Now they have a cutscene that has them shooting at you in their R-Wings. I think Ridley has the longest Final Smash. Most of the Final Smashes only do about 50% damage, with the exception of Marth and Lucina, whose are instant kills no matter what the opponent's damage is. Bayonetta and Rob have the potential to do the most damage without knocking out, capping at about 85%. The computer AI is completely insane for some characters, as some, again, some, not all, will be crazy hard. King Dedede on level 3 is a beast, but other characters on the same setting are like a CPU level of 0. Isabelle on level 5 is like being on level 2. It's like some characters are dumber than they should be, or way too smart and aggressive for the level you set the AI difficulty at. Mario at level 9 is what you would expect, but Sheik at level 5 is dumb and self-destructed like 3 times without my intervention. Solid Snake on level 5 is like on level 9. I feel that there needs to be some AI balancing, which I hope will be addressed in the patch. I'm assuming it's because the AI in Smash 4 was really dense no matter the setting. I'm not complaining about the AI being difficult, I welcome that challenge. It just feels like the levels are not balanced as they should be. When it comes to unlocking characters, some have a really high difficulty setting than others. I was able to side special most of the characters off the screen with Marth and then Lucina when I unlocked them. Cloud was the hardest for me to unlock, as he was an absolute monster. I had to challenge him like 15 times. Dr. Mario and Mewtwo were also extremely difficult for me, but they were a piece of cake compared to Cloud, who took the whole cake. If you fail unlocking a character, they won't pop up again through regular play, but you can go back and challenge them again through the Games and More menu. And if you fail again, you'll have to wait for the option to pop up again as it's on a timer. And when you start the game up, you only have the original 8 characters from Super Smash Bros. For the 64. I did not like this, personally, because it's a roster of 70 plus characters. I think they could have been a little bit more flexible. Like maybe let you choose one fighter to start off with from the entire roster, and that's kind of the one you stick with that you can unlock the other characters with. The World of Light adventure game is like a half-assed combination of a quarter-assed version of the board game from Smash 4 and a quarter-assed version of the Subspace Emissary from Brawl. It doesn't feel like it was very well thought out in my opinion. It's full of many annoying fights with puppet characters where there's different conditions to the fights. There was one that I stopped trying and moved on to something else. I had to fight Dr. Mario, and there was a bunch of mini-solid snakes on Meta Knight's ship, where explosives dropped constantly, and the mini-snakes loved to plant C4 everywhere. And if you defeat these puppet characters, you don't unlock the character. You have to defeat the actual character who is mind-controlled, and then you unlock them. And that's when you come across them. It feels extremely restrictive because you don't know what characters are on what path. The main point of this mode and the Spirit Board mode is to unlock new spirits, which adds some RPG elements. Most spirits give you bonuses, like added weight so it's harder to be knocked out, but movement speed and jumping height is decreased. Or there's ones that'll make you lighter so you move faster and have higher jumps, or they let you start the fight with an item. Most main spirits have what can be described as equipment slots. You can add support spirits, which will also give you benefits, like starting with an item, or buffs that will have items gravitate towards you. There's also over 1,000 spirits for you to unlock. You're able to make spirit teams and equip them to a fighter, and then you can take that fighter into any of the other modes of the game. I chose not to do that because it doesn't feel like it adds any extra fun to the game. It feels more like trying to build a deck for a card game. The game also runs perfectly in handheld mode, with no frame rate dips at all, and that's with all the items on and using them too, even with 8 players going at it once. But I don't recommend trying 8 people in handheld mode. It gets really hard to see where you are in relation to everyone else. The online mode has been reported to be a mess, where someone with a slow connection or bad Wi-Fi can bring an entire game to a crawl, or the game not taking your preferences into account. I haven't experienced that at all, but I don't like that after you lose, you're forced to watch the remainder of the game. You're not given the option to drop out and find a new one. You're held hostage until the results screen, and while you can probably shut the game down and reboot it, I'm not sure if Nintendo is still implementing those too many disconnects from a game and you're banned rule like they did with Smash 4. When it comes to the core gameplay of Smash Ultimate, it's the best Super Smash Bros. To date. There wasn't a character that I didn't enjoy playing as. Well, except for Ness and Lucas, but in all out honesty, I never liked playing them anyway. Every iteration of Smash Bros. Just gets more and more refined when it comes to the actual fighting. The other stuff like spirits and campaign mode, while good, aren't for me, but I'm not going to docket points for it because they function as they were intended. But I do wish that the World of Light was more of a Subspace Emissary type of campaign instead of what it is.
If you have a Nintendo Switch, you probably already own this, or you're anxiously waiting Christmas to play it. It is a must-own for any Nintendo Switch owner, and saying that you don't have a Nintendo Switch, Gus, sounds like loser talk to me.